What you want wants you. Today's video is all about magnetism and how when we're present in the moment, here and now, and we're able to resonate with what we desire while not being attached to the end result, that we become magnetic. Because it's not just that you're attracting whatever it is that you want, whether it be money, whether it be love, whether it be a certain kind of relationships with people, or even just like when you're walking through a store, like what kind of energy are you in, you know? What kind of interactions are being drawn? It's that thing wants you. It's also being magnetized to you. There's a matching vibration, frequency. Because just take money as an example. Money has no intrinsic meaning other than what we give to it. And money is like an energy. So when we recognize that if money has any purpose, its purpose is fulfilled through us. So when you're in that vibration of, I need money, I need this money, it's very much like, you know, when you're going to like hang out with someone or go on a date and you're like, I really need this person. And they feel that, and it's like repelling. It's the same thing. But when you say it's not that I need money, it's that, well, money needs me for it to be able to have purpose, to have function. It's like you can take it off a pedestal and decrease the level of importance that you're putting on it in order for you to have fulfillment. And by being in that vibration of the present moment and feeling that fulfillment within, that's why the feeling is the secret, is that fulfillment is the feeling full, right? It's as we bring our awareness into the now and we're able to cultivate these qualities of the feelings that we would have in the having of whatever it is that we want, and we're able to release the attachment, we're able to decrease the level of importance that we need this thing. Because whenever we need something, it's saying that we don't have it. And it's like the carrot on the stick, because we think that we'll feel the way we want to feel when we have whatever that thing is. But then even that level of constantly trying to manifest, I know I can see places where I definitely do this, you know, where it's like you're so focused on the future, you're so focused on the vision, you know, like you're so focused on, you know, manifesting whatever that is, manifesting your dream life. But even that is keeping your thoughts constantly in the future. And it's like idealizing that I'll only be happy if I have this thing. And that creates an attachment to the result. Because if you can't even imagine not having it, you know, like you need to have it in order to be happy, it keeps us out of the moment. It's powerful to be able to focus on that, you know, vision of the future, to have a clear vision of the future and where we're headed, what our vision is, and to orient ourselves in our day-to-day life to live in accordance with that. And there's fulfillment in that, but it's only if we're actually living our lives in the moment. It's not like living in our heads, constantly needing to visualize it, constantly trying, right? And it's that force of trying, again, says that you don't already have it. Because it's about, enjoying the journey. This is what I'm finding in my own journey, is that the more that I presence myself in the moment, the more that I let go of attachment to the result, the more magnetic I am, the more in my body I am, the more in the moment, the more savoring the environments and like the experiences that I'm having. And when I'm going into places about my day, like going into the bookstore and having somebody walk up and having an epic conversation and getting invited to connect with other entrepreneurs recently happened. But also what I was doing in that moment, I was reading a book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And, it was talking about when you're praying, it's like you're going into the end state. Like you're feeling at one with it. It's at one-ment, right? Atonement is at one-ment. And you're going into that stillness and feeling it. Feeling it as if it's already done, if it's already happening. But the thing is that when it's already happening, when we're really in that frequency, we're being that version of us. Like we're leaning into that version of us. And so it takes presence. And presence, I also find when I tune in and meditate, it brings me into the appreciation of everything that is happening. And it gives me the awareness of where my thought streams are going. Because if we're constantly living in the past as well, to be able to go into those emotions and to be able to let go and to be able to forgive, and also to be able to look at the parts of ourselves that we shame as wrong or bad, and to be able to bring those into the light of awareness and give them love. That's that shadow integration. Starts to free up that bandwidth where, we're not having that inner conflict. We're not constantly dwelling on thoughts of the past. Or in a way, when we become overly focused on the future in an imbalanced way, it's like we're rejecting the present. Can't fully presence in the moment. I'm at the park, so people are walking. The birds are chirping. It's beautiful. The sun has risen. Because it's like manifesting anxiety. And causes us to, in a way, like reject our present reality. It's not okay where we are. But that demagnetizes us. It causes us to not be present, to not be in our bodies, to not be in our own context. And also the challenge of presencing when difficulty and negative emotion is coming up in the moment is that it causes us to look at those parts of ourselves and to be able to approve of and to accept and to feel everything that we're feeling. To feel those difficult, sticky emotions of it's not okay where I am right now, But as we do, and this is what I found yesterday, is that when that was coming up, I went to the beach, and instead of going and I was gonna do all of this action to try to change everything in my life, at that moment, I was like, I need to reset my nervous system. So I went to the park, I went to the beach. I worked with a plant medicine called Hape, which is basically sacred ground tobacco that you inhale, and it like helps to clear your energy. And I do breath work with that. It helps to open your lungs, just like process and feel emotion. So I went and I did some breath work, just some deep breathing, just invoked like a little personal ceremony with some reverence and intention, and just felt everything that was coming up in that moment, and just felt myself slow down and listen and feel and just somatically release those kind of trapped emotions. And then I witnessed those thoughts that were constantly going in the past, going in the future, just slow down, and my awareness came back into the moment. And I was like, oh my God, life right now is so beautiful. Everything right now is so beautiful. And in that appreciation is magnetism. Because it's also like being like coming back into your body and being like, kind of more grounded. It's sexy. It's attractive. It's attractive even in just a friend way. It's attractive in like people want to connect with you. You're more fun to be around, like you're there. And it's also like you're more like hip to the moment. You have that clarity. It's like that crisp clarity, that spiritual clarity is like here in this physical reality. And then inspired ideas start coming in, money starts coming in, opportunities start to present themselves, people want to talk to you. Like that's how those synchronicities and opportunities come to you, because what you want wants you. Like the good life, the more life wants you. So when you're looking for that relationship, I want this person. Well, they want you. You're two complementary matches to fulfillment. But also when you let go, and it's like you don't need that thing to be happy. Feel those emotions of like that lack coming up, and be able to process through that, to be able to feel present and feel like satisfaction in the moment. Then it's also like you're not attached to it needing to figure out who it is or what person. And you're like, I have options. I'm open to the opportunities. Because what I want wants me. I'm worthy. I'm worthy of that love. I'm worthy of that money, that abundance. And looking in the mirror, and you start the day and saying, I love you. I love you. And being able to, tune into your vision and where you're going, but then bring it into the moment. What can I do now? What can I do today? Because even just aligning yourself to be in a receptive mode to receive the inspiration and having that clear intention and expectation, right? Belief is the power of expectation. It's like when you expect that you will be inspired to the moment of the next inspired action to take every time, then the real thing that comes up is, am I supported by the universe? And that's where trust and faith comes in. It's like the great mystery, the unknown. Like we go through personal initiations. And we go through many initiations almost every day. It's like being able to lean into and trust in that. And the more that we do that, the more that we see like, oh my God, I am supported, I am supported, I am supported. And suddenly like now you start like believing I have more than enough. I have more than enough. I will always get the next inspired action. And then you get the inspiration. And then when you do take that action, you do it in the present moment. Like you do it in your body, like you're there for it. You're there for it. Now you're like being it. You're living in that frequency. Now you're creating accordance to your long-term vision in the now. You're aligning with that higher vision for your life, but you're living it. You're living into it. You're giving yourself permission to be it. Because you can't just get there without going through the process or the journey. You know, like there are so many successful people that are exactly where you are right now, that were exactly where you are right now. Even some of the most successful people on the planet. And of course, it depends on what you consider success to be, but just generally speaking, you know, you don't get there from there. You get there from being into it. It's like leaning into it and allowing yourself the permission to become it. Because if you never allow yourself the permission to become it, how are you going to become that? It's not just like you're just going to quantum jump to it and now you're suddenly it and you didn't have to go through any process. Like the real quantum jump into that is assuming the state in the now. It's not just visualizing it. It's in the feeling, like in your body, in your cells, and like being here now in the moment and loving life. And loving what you came here to do, like what you came here to offer, and like being present in the creation, being a cooperative component of creation, being an extension of creation, and prioritizing that alignment and that devotion to your craft, to your mission, your message, your vision. To be able to feel that, to embody it, us becoming a clear and open channel of divine expression, to be able to be a pillar of light, to be able to be an inspiration. Because inspiration means the in-breath of spirit. And we are breathing in the breath of life every moment. And it's up to you whether or not it's sacred. Because it could be normal air, or it can be sacred air. It's all about your attitude. It's all about perception. It's all about relationships. I've been feeling this with appreciation as well. Like appreciation grows, as you focus on it and not even trying to appreciate, like just softly putting my gaze and just everywhere I look, there's something to appreciate, and it's like, it just starts to expand and flow until you're in that state. And it's magnetic. Because life wants to be appreciated, and you want to appreciate life. Love wants to be loved. Money wants to be spent. And I deserve it. And it was only from the earlier stories in life. This was, I was hearing in a talk yesterday. They were talking about how when you're a baby, you constantly are being praised. Like every time you would make a word, even if it wasn't the perfect word, you get praised for it. And then you're like, oh, I got that praise, so I'm gonna keep doing that. And suddenly you can talk. And then it's only as you start getting older, that suddenly the parents start expecting more of the baby. Now as a little child, And then when they don't do the thing, they don't get praised. And then it creates that, the child self internalizes that there's something wrong with me. So that's the power of self-love now. And it's like kind of like reparenting yourself and being like, giving yourself the praise that maybe you didn't have before. Being able to forgive and let go of the past, come into the moment, and to be able to praise yourself. Like, I was just feeling that. I'm like, I am doing so well. Like, I know how to walk, I know how to talk, I learned how to drive a car, I know how to breathe, I know how to pay my bills on time. I know how to do all of these things that I've learned. I know how to play an instrument, I learned how to sing, I learned how to make these videos. Like, think of all the things that you've already done and be like, yeah, I can do that. I can launch a successful business. I'm awesome. It's a great affirmation. I am fucking awesome. Or, if you don't want to use the, I am awesome. I sometimes curse, by the way, so that's the thing. I am awesome. I love myself. And like praising yourself when you do something well, giving yourself that validation, finding it within yourself. And the more that you do that, suddenly you're not looking outside of yourself for people who can't even give you that. They got their own stuff going on. Nobody can be the pure object of your attention all the time. It's an empty rabbit hole, trying to find it outside of yourself, trying to change the outside world to give it to you. But then when you start finding it within yourself, then suddenly you have confidence, and confidence is magnetic. And when you have that confidence, you feel competent to take action towards whatever your goal is, towards whatever it is you want to do. You start to feel like, you know what? I got this. And the universe responds, bringing you those synchronicities, bringing you those opportunities. Oh, well, he's ready. Okay. It's not like the universe isn't ready for you. You got to be ready for it. And then let it in. Tune to it. Step into it. Thank you for being here now with me, tuning in today. I feel pretty complete. And make sure to hit the thumbs up and leave a comment. And subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell again, that helps you get the notifications. And enjoy the journey. Many blessings.